Yo, what's going on, people? Welcome back to the channel. I do apologize for running late. I'm like, what, 11 minutes late, I believe. I was recording for my other channel. Big up the real ones in the building. We are back again. It is Friday, the 16th of August, 2024. And we're going to be looking at the latest news surrounding Arsenal Football Club. But it's not really looking good at this moment in time, ladies and gentlemen. I have to be honest. I've been telling you guys this for ages and ages and ages, but you know, it's only now that guys are really catching up, finding out that the guys that have been putting this project together are incompetent, so incompetent that they can't actually spend any money. They've signed Calafiori, only Calafiori. That's the only bit of money we've spent. And you're telling me we can't sign anyone else until we sell players. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. The Premier League starts today. I can't remember who kicks off today, but we are back again tomorrow, ladies and gentlemen. It's good to know that the Premier League's back. But, is it good to hear that Arsenal have to sell players before they can actually buy? That's coming from the horse's mouth. David Ornstein as well. And there's a few other journalists that are mentioning the same thing. And it's not looking good. It's not looking good for the projects because it means that you've been overspending. You've been overspending and you haven't been able to deliver. You haven't been able to deliver because the amount of money that you have spent on this project, I'm telling you now, if it was Sir Alex Ferguson, he would have won Manchester United multiple Premier Leagues by now and multiple Champions Leagues, I tell you. You know, any other manager, if this was Carlo, if this was Pep, if this was the amount of money that we have spent, ladies and gentlemen, oof. And now it's put us in this position where Arsenal can't buy any more players. We can't buy anyone. We can't buy anyone. And now we're trying to flog off Eddie Nketiah. No one wants Eddie. And we said this for time ago, that the only teams that are going to be interested, seriously interested in Eddie, are going to be the ones at the bottom of the league. Nottingham Forest, Bournemouth. Even Bournemouth are not interested in Eddie. They went and got themselves Ivan Nielsen, whatever his name is. Ivan Nielsen from Porto. We know about him. He played us in the Champions League last season. I'm surprised he actually signed for Bournemouth. I'm pretty sure Manchester United were interested in him at one point, but he's gone to Bournemouth. They prefer him over Eddie, who's meant to be a proven Premier League striker. And now all that leaves is Nottingham Forest. And this is where we predicted he would end up, at Nottingham Forest, didn't we? We said that back in January, I'm sure we did. Big up all the real ones in the building anyway. We've got a lot to actually get through. Edu and his incompetent self, proving to be that guy. Proving to be that guy we said he was ages ago. Them way there. Struggling to deliver. I'm hearing he's on the plane flying over to Spain to try and get Mikel Moreno done. I don't know what he's trying to do, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know what he's trying to do. Big up my guy, Nort in the building. We've got Trapstar in the building. We've got Pepper Mint Freedom in the building. Big up my guy Jerome Pierre in the building. Nothing but love and respect to you, broski. Big up my guy Tope in the building. We've got Zach in the building as well. Johnny Boy says Wax flew up to Spain to track down Edu. I'm telling you, bro, I've been on his case. Been on his case all summer, but these past couple of weeks, I've been fed up. I've been like, you know what? Let me take a step back. Let Edu breathe for a minute. Let him show me that he's capable of doing the job. And here we are, 16th of August. 16th of August, only 14 days left of this window, more or less. Season starts tomorrow, or Arsenal season starts tomorrow, and we've only signed Calafiori. Okay. You remember the guys that were telling me, don't worry, Wax, don't worry. The moment the 1st of July comes, Edu's going to be on it. He's going to be on his barbecue. He's going to be cooking, mate. He's going to be cooking. Don't worry, relax. Don't worry, relax. Don't worry, Wax. I'm relaxed. That's what they were telling me. Don't worry, Wax. I'm relaxed. Where's Ro? Where's Ro? You in the building, bro? Talk to me. Talk to me. Big up my guys, Sergio in the building. We've got Ashley in here as well. Big up all the real ones. Big up my guy, Footy Chats in the building. Come on. Big up Nick. I see you, Nick. Much appreciate you. Oh, this is a questionable window. I've never seen such a poor window from Arsenal in a very long time, and I thought we overcome these poor windows. I thought we were going into windows active, signing dons before the 1st of July. Then way there. But no, this isn't that type of Arsenal, mate. This isn't that type of Arsenal. Big up my guy, Comic and Snickers in the building. Big up Marley as well. Come on, man. Big up all the real ones. All the real ones. Big up Anthony the Scissors Master. Big up everyone, man. Everyone. Keep joining. Keep hitting the like button. Keep subscribing. All of that. It is Friday. Let me know how you're feeling on this Friday. afternoon, or Friday morning, afternoon, depending on where you're watching from. It is still morning here. Ain't afternoon until another 14 minutes. Big up my guy Zeeks. He says, big up Wax and the crew. Bro called it from time ago. This is what I'm saying. You got to listen to me. You got to listen. Because Wax knows what's going on with this Arsenal Football Club. I know, man. And then you look at teams like Manchester United, all these other teams, they're active. What was I telling you? People were telling me a few weeks ago, oh, no one's active, Wax. No one's active. No one's active. No one's active. Dons are pulling Dons out of the bag, yeah? Come on. Man United, Chelsea, Aston Villa. You're the only team that you can say that's not really active as Liverpool. They're the only team that haven't been active, but they might pull something out the bag. People might say Manchester City haven't been active. But then bearing in mind, Man City are the best team in the world with probably the best squads. You might argue that now with Real Madrid having Mbappe and so on and so forth. But do you know what I mean? Like, we're not there. We're not there. We just didn't do the 4-peat. We didn't do the 4-peat, did we? No, we didn't do 4-peat. We didn't just win the Premier League, did we? No, we didn't. We didn't even win the FA Cup. See, Manchester United won the Carabao Cup, they won the FA Cup, but they still go out there and get big dons, yeah? Big dons. I don't care, yeah, Mashraoui and, little right back, little improvement on Van Bissaka. I get it. They still made it happen. Matthias de Ligt made it happen. Joshua Zirkzee made it happen. Yeah, there's players that they made it happen. They wanted to get their targets. They went and got their targets. Bearing in mind, some of these teams that we are talking about as well, they were restricted more than Arsenal were when it comes to PSR. PSR. Oh, PSR. But what that goes to show you, ladies and gentlemen, is those teams, they had plans. They had clear plans. Clear plans. Remember we were told about the clear plan? Clear plan FC. Clear plan FC. That's what we were told we were, right? Interesting, because all of those clubs right there overcome the PSR obstacles and signed players that improved their squads. And they sold players at the same time as well. And we're here on the 16th of August with only Calafiori, and the reports are telling us that Arsenal can't sign anyone until they sell players. Wow. It's not like it's coming from some Italian don. No, this is coming from David Orenstein, whatever his name is. Yeah, it's coming directly from the horse's mouth. The guy that is the biggest journalist on the planet when it comes to being reliable, right? Okay. Edu Gasper. Anyway, what we got cooking? What we got cooking in the kitchen right now, ladies and gentlemen? Big up my guy Just Ads as well. Big up my guy Just Ads. I mean, are we going to be signing a striker? Are we going to be signing Victor Gyökeres? Is this going to be happening? We've got reports telling us that Arsenal are looking at the following strikers: Victor Gyökeres, Ivan Ferguson, and Santiago Jimenez. But the Gunners' budget may be prevented. But the Gunners' budget may prevent any of these signings without any outgoings first. That's according to Ben Jacobs. So he's basically saying that Arsenal can't actually sign anyone, or they can't sign a striker before they sell. They have to sell first, which is pretty interesting, because that shows you that what we've done over these past couple of years is just been BS. And, this was going to be inevitable. The decisions leading up to Arsenal hitting a massive stumbling block. You had Aubameyang, Lacazette, Bellerin, all of these dons, and you decided to let them go for free. You let them go for free, and you thought that weren't going to come and bite you back in your ass. Okay. Now, of course, it's not. At the end of the day, it's not the end of the world. Let's be totally honest. But come on, like you can't say, oh well, Wax, like, don't worry, man. Like the team's good enough. Like the team's good enough. Adding Calafiori to our team doesn't necessarily mean now you are better over a 38-game period to challenge City and all of the other competitors to this title just by adding Calafiori. Yeah. Oh yeah, we're that much better, aren't we? We're that much better. Yes. No striker. Kai Havertz, Jesus are going to be our number 9s for the new season. 2 strikers that have proven over the past couple of seasons that they're in the top of the league for the worst conversion rate. The worst conversion rate, which means chances are being set up for these dons, but they can't convert them. Top five. Interesting. And this is the reason why you have to, let out these frustrations. It's the same old BS over and over and over and over and over again. And it boils back to the incompetence from the sporting director, the Richard Garlick as well, who was heavily involved in these negotiations earlier on. It's an absolute joke. They sat there and applauded themselves, bust champagne when they gave Aubameyang to Barcelona for free. They were busting champagne. Since then, Aubameyang has accumulated over £30 million for the clubs that he has been at since. Just deep that. Since then, ladies and gentlemen, Aubameyang has accumulated more than £30 million for the clubs that he had been at since leaving Arsenal Football Club. But Edu and Richard Garlick are busting champagne bottles, celebrating that they terminated Aubameyang's contract and still paid him until the end of that season, bro. Oh, they were celebrating. They tried to finesse us on that documentary to make it look like, oh, no one was going to take him. Oh, no one wants him. So this is the best decision we could have made. The best decision that you man could have made. Because these decisions that you man have made have led Arsenal into this hole whereby, oh, we can only sell before we can buy. Oh, we got to sell Eddie and Nketiah first before we can look at anyone else. We can't even get Mikel Moreno over the line because we need to sell. That's probably not even a stumbling block. Like we're being told the stumbling block with Mikel Moreno is the structure of the deal, which, with Edu, it's always been the structure of the deal. So when the media tell you that, you buy into it immediately. You think, oh yeah, the structure of the deal, that's always a problem for Edu. So that's most likely to be the case right now. This is the reason why the Mikel Moreno deal isn't getting over the line. But maybe, just maybe, the Mikel Moreno deal isn't getting over the line because Arsenal don't have the money right now to get it over the line. Maybe that could be the case. And now we're panicking. Oh, Eddie, come on, you got to go Nottingham Forest. Please go Nottingham Forest. Because if you don't go Nottingham Forest, it means we can't sign Mikel Moreno. Remember, Edu told us we're not going to be disappointed at the end of this window. You best know that we better not be disappointed, Edu, because it's going to be problems for you, my guy. It's going to be big problems for you. It's not even a joke, man. Not even a joke. Like, we're not, I don't think this, you see all this Eucharist talk? We need to cut it out now. We have to cut it out now. We need to move on from Eucharist. That is not happening. I was seeing Eucharist in pictures with for some magazine, I think it was, wearing the sporting kit and all of that, doing some interview. The guy's staying at Sporting. He ain't leaving, bro. He ain't leaving. Arsenal, the last signing that we are going to make is Mikel Moreno. That's going to be the last signing. We might see some backup Don coming after that, but we're not going to be signing a striker. We would have done this early. We would have done this so early. Unless Stan Kroenke is going to come along and say, don't worry, guys. Here you go. Here's 100 million. This could be a Thomas Partey 2.0. When Stan Kroenke come along on the final day of the window and said, you know what, Mikel Arteta and Edu, there's the 50 M's for Thomas. There you go. That's the 50 M's. But when has that happened? Other than just that moment? That's never happened. Stan Kroenke's never done that other than that moment. So can we say that that's going to happen again? I don't know, bro. I don't know. Eucharist is a good player and Tony is still available. Come on, Arsenal. There are players available, but Arsenal don't have the money, man. They don't have the money. And you would have thought, okay, we just sold ESR for 34 million. There must be some sort of money there. No. That money needs to take us out of the red. That money needs to clear the debt that the project's already put us in. Remember, Arsenal's not in debt. The project's in debt. It's the difference. No, it's not the business, it's the project. The project is in debt. And we need to start getting a return. We need to get a return. You can't keep spending all this money and expect no return. Imagine, like, someone's just come along and said to Edu, like, here's a business. This is what you've got left of the business to try and salvage this business. And Edu's just gone along and said, okay, took it all and just gave it away for free. There you go. Take it all for free. And then expected the bank to come along and just fund him. And then he's got in debt with the bank now. He's in debt with the bank because he's took 800 M's off the bank to try and keep everything going. And now we're at this standstill where it's like, oh shit, how do we keep improving? How do we keep competing with these other guys that have managed their money and balanced their books the way they needed to balance them so they can, how do we do it? Oh, we can't. Because what we have to do is now try and find a way we can bank the money back. And I'm just using that analogy because it's an easy analogy to understand this project, because that's what it is. The bank in this analogy is Arsenal. Arsenal are giving Edu and Mikel Arteta a lot of money to spend on their project, and you're not giving us any return. Bro, you're killing us. You're killing us here, mate. We have to then rely on Mikel Arteta with the squad that he has to do the best he can to win that Premier League. And then next season, if we don't win the Premier League next season and we finish second or third, then guess what, ladies and gentlemen? We then have to start looking at other players within this squad to sell to keep balancing it out, because the amount of money we've been spending is too much. It's too much. So, you know, next season we'll end up seeing Fabio Vieira being one of the players that gets sold, and then it will be, you know, we might see a sacrifice. It might be the Trossard, you know, Trossard coming to the, you know, the end of his career. You know, you might see Trossard go, you know. There's probably some plan in place with, you know, with already projections, you know, player projections, like who am I going to be selling next summer? Now, let's not sell Fabio now, because we can use Fabio next summer, especially if he doesn't step up this season. And then how do you expect Fabio to step up this season if you're not giving Fabio any minutes to step up? Oh, bro, these guys are so conflicting. It's unbelievable, ladies and gentlemen. And even though we're seeing progress in terms of like data performance, we're seeing data performance progress, but ultimately it's gonna hit a massive brick wall whereby, you know, it could be detrimental, man. It could be detrimental, these decisions, where you know, you're gonna have to sell players and the manager might get sacked because, you know, you're not winning anything. It's like, come on, what are you doing here? What are you doing here? We might lose William Saliba, we might lose these players. Exactly. Oh man, the decisions for a football club that are trying to be the best football club in the world are so crucial. You can't have an Edu calling shots, bro. You can't have it. You can't have it. Edu won't last at Barcelona. He wouldn't last at Real Madrid. He wouldn't last at Bayern Munich. He wouldn't last at these type of companies, bro. He wouldn't last. He wouldn't last. Like he's not even qualified to be a sporting director for Corinthians. Like he's not even qualified to be a sporting director for Corinthians, bro. Like literally, I'm telling you, if you can't sell, then what can you do? What can you do? Anyway, let's stop ranting here. Look, what else is the news telling us? Everton, they eye a move for Kieran Tini. They are willing to pay the money for Kieran Tini. We will see him stay in the Premier League this season. 12 to 15 million for Kieran Tini. We are going to be taking a loss on this one. It's inevitable with the way we've managed Kieran Tini's situation. You would think a player of this quality, a player of his age, that you would have been able to get at least close to the amount of money you would have spent on the player, or more than you would have spent, but we haven't. We only signed Kieran Tini, what, 4 years ago, 5 years ago. The season, it was the season when Arteta took over. We signed Kieran Tini. 3 months later, Unai Emery got sacked. Mikel Arteta took over. So Mikel Arteta, to a degree, has killed the valuation of this player. Killed it. Edu and Arteta have killed the valuation of this player. Killed him. We were talking about Kieran Tini 2 years ago being one of the best left backs in world football in Europe. Yeah, in Europe. So, you know, he was being compared to Robertson at Liverpool. He was being compared to all of these dons. Yeah, let's be totally honest. There were people online, delusional Arsenal fans online 2 years ago, really raving about Kieran Tini, raving about him. We understand the fitness, the injury issues. We get that. But ultimately, this is a left back under this project, yeah, that has decreased in value and is now worth nothing. He's worth nothing. Worth nothing. Kieran Tini, you know, 27 years old. And he's literally, his value is just nothing. 12 million, 10 million. This is crazy. Crazy. You see this happen to, you know, Robertson. You think Robertson is his value is gonna deflate like this, and he's gonna leave Liverpool for like 5 million, unless he's about 35 years old, perhaps. Not a guy at 26, mate, 27 years old. No way. Went to Real Sociedad, had a decent time at Real Sociedad, had another injury, unfortunately for him. And, you know, he suffered from that. But then even then, you know, when you talk about injuries, ESR is a prime example. And this is the reason why we can have this debate and we can argue that these men killed this guy's value. Because ESR hasn't played for Arsenal. He's had 2 starts for Arsenal and a handful of substitute appearances in 2 years. In 2 years. So this guy is, he's barely been seen in 2 years. Man won't even know he existed in that period, really. Let's be honest. But we sold him for £34 million, bro. We sold him for £34 million. So, we can't even really say, but the injuries that Kieran Tini has suffered have kind of killed his value as well. To a degree, logically, you would appreciate that and say, yeah, I would agree with that. But nah, man. Kieran Tierney, bruv. These man killed him. That's what they done. These man killed Kieran, bruv. Killed him. They shattered his confidence, shattered him mentally, and the guy just become more of an injury-prone don under these dons. Yeah? Killed him. Absolutely killed him, bruv. Tierney has been injured a lot, Wax. What are you talking about? Yeah, I know he's been injured a lot. I hear you, bro. I hear you. But so is ESR, mate. So is ESR, hasn't he? These man absolutely killed Kieran Tierney, bro. Let's be honest. But listen, 10 million for Kieran, it is what it is. It is what it is. That's how much you'll end up getting for him based on the way this player has been managed over the years. And that's it, bruv. There's no even making excuses for these guys' incompetence in terms of managing players and ensuring that the value of the fucking players stay high. Yeah, the value of these players. They ain't done it with no one. Tell me who other than ESR. This is why I'm surprised. I'm fucking surprised that they've done it with ESR and these guys come along and put £34 million down on the table for ESR. But everyone else, like Ramsdale, all of them, you've killed all of them. You've killed them. You can't tell me the project ain't killed them. The only guys that you're going to get big money for right now is the guys that are in our starting 11 who you don't want to sacrifice. But everyone else that was here, that you signed to the project, that you inherited for this project, you've killed. You've killed their value. The same way you killed Aubameyang's value, the same way you killed Lacazette's value, the same way you killed everyone's value, bro. And if people are missing the point, you're clearly just not on board with what I've been delivering in this fucking presentation, more or less. Because this is about Edu and these guys managing the squad, managing the budget, managing this project. They've ruined the project. Their project's got us in debt. And we're at a standstill because of their decisions. So let's see what these men are going to do. One more season for me. You've got poor man management. You've got poor financial management. You've got poor. There's so much poor in there. Big up the real ones that get it. Poor man management. Big up my guy James. Nailed it. This is what I'm saying. Like, if you are listening and you listen to understands, and you will get my points. Edu and these lot have killed the value of our squads. And the only thing you can do now is deliver on major honors, or you're going to have to sacrifice some of the big boys. You're going to have to sacrifice some of the big boys. Who are we looking at? We're looking at Martinelli's. We're looking at the big guys. It might have to be a Saliba. It might have to be a Gabriel, the people that we don't want to sell. But that will be inevitable, especially if you don't win the major honors. Them way there. It's the major honors, ladies and gentlemen. This is the summer. And why this is so detrimental as well is because now we're in a position where we can't actually improve the squad the way we want to improve the squad to give ourselves even more of a chance to win these major honors. So tell me how it makes sense. It doesn't. So they've killed the value, man. They've killed this shit. Edu got to go now. Everyone gets it. Edu got to go. He fully has to go. He's not even competent to do the job at Corinthians or Sao Paulo or somewhere over there in Brazil. He's killed it. You can't even blame Arteta for this shit. You have to blame Edu and Richard Garlick, bro, and even the owners for allowing this shit to continue based on how it has continued. Like, the pressure of selling players should have come into play 2 years ago. You, man, should have sat down with him and told him that he has to sell Aubameyang. Otherwise, you got to keep him, bro. You got to keep him. I don't care about any personal vendetta that Arteta has or any problems that you guys have behind the scenes. Because ultimately, if you're looking at this from a business perspective, those decisions that you made kill us. They kill us. They will kill us. Anyway, let's move on. Nottingham Forest are interested in signing Eddie Nketiah from Arsenal. Now, how much will Eddie Nketiah go to Nottingham Forest for? Will Nottingham Forest cough up the amount of money that Edu has planted on this guy's head? Remember, we were told 50 million initially. Then we were told 40 million. Then we were told 30 million. Bloody hell. How many times are you going to have to reduce this player? How many times are you have to reduce the value? Do you think Nottingham Forest are really going to come along and put 30 million down on Eddie Nketiah's head? I don't think they are. I don't think they are, especially when we are in the kind of final 2 weeks of the window. Big up James says, where's all the accountability in this mess? This is what I'm saying, man. This is what I'm saying. And this is what I've been saying. The pressure is on for these guys. The pressure is on. You can't tell me that Stan Kroenke and Josh Kroenke are not looking at Edu from a different microscope. The lens that they're looking at Eddie from is a different lens than they were looking at him from last season and the season before that. Has to be. And if they're not, I have to question the owners. Have to question them. Forest are on FFP watch as well. This is what I'm saying. So they're not really going to be breaking the bank for Eddie Nketiah. We can't sell Eddie or Reese because Don Edu and co gave them wages other clubs don't want to give them. Exactly. Come on. There's so many things that we can put on the table which prove that their decisions are the reason as to why we can't spend today. A team like Arsenal Football Club can't spend any money. We've got to sell before we can buy. Is that what you're telling me? No way, bro. No way, bro. No way, bro. Where is Moreno? Wait for him in Arsenal Stadium with flowers. This is what I'm saying. Moreno is going to be a last-minute deal. That's going to probably be the last deal that we get done. And I'm curious to know what the actual stumbling block for that deal is. Is it the structure of the deal? We're likely to believe that it's the structure of the deal because Edu's always getting the structures wrong. We're always being told, it's unrealistic. Arsenal, they want more money up front. They want this. They want payments to be paid over a certain period of time, and they've been transparent on that. But Edu's gone in with some stupid, ridiculous offer, and come on, who's advising Edu? I swear to you, I don't know. There's a lot of firing that needs to happen at this moment in time. So you're kind of likely to believe that it is the structure of the deal, but now I'm starting to think: is it the structure of the deal, or is there some sort of financial problem on Arsenal's end? It will be. Come on, it's stupid to think that Arsenal have any type of financial issues. They can't give Edu an extra 5 million. Some reports are suggesting that Real Sociedad are the reason as to why there's a stumbling block. It's that they want an extra 5 million on top of the 25.5 million they already agreed. So listen, I don't know what to believe. I don't know what to believe at this moment in time. But what we do know is time is running out. Time is running out. With this Eddie Nketiah deal, I don't know what Nottingham Forest are going to do, how much they're going to pay, whether it's going to be a loan with an option, obligation. We don't know. Arsenal obviously step up Mikel Moreno talks, but as reported by David Ornstein, I keep getting his surname wrong. I don't know why. Understand there may need to be a sell for protection of balance sheet. Worth noting, Gunners believed to be well within PSR limits over past 3 years. Just boxing clever. Just boxing clever. Look, take in what my man is saying here, bro. Take in what my man is saying here. Like, really take in what David from The Athletic is saying here. Let me read that again. He says, Arsenal have stepped up their move for Mikel Moreno, but he understands that they may need to be a sell. There may need to be a sell first for protection of balance sheet. Worth noting, Gunners believed to be well within PSR limits over the past 3 years, but they're just boxing clever. No. Stop gaslighting us, bro. Stop gaslighting us. Yeah. You see the gaslight? That's the PR. That's the gaslight. That's to make it look like there's nothing wrong. The problem is this fraud on the screen has spent way too much money and hasn't given us a return. That's what it is about. We've been within PSR limits. Taking a piss, man. Taking an absolute piss. Edu needs to go, man. Edu needs to go. I'm fed up. Boxing clever, they try to tell us. Boxing clever, you know. Oh, David's the PR merchant. Look, man, the true fact of the matter is what I've been telling you for the past 12 months, man. Arsenal have spent way too much money, and it's now caught up with us. It's caught up with us to the point where we can't spend anymore until Edu steps up and sells players. Now, if we really wanted to alleviate this pressure, if we really wanted to make sure that we were improving our squad significantly going into this new season, it could have come with a major sacrifice. Remember, I told you guys this 3-4 months ago. I would have personally said, Martinelli, there you go, man. Sorry, man. Go AC Milan, go Barcelona, 80 million, 90 million, but we've got to get it done. We've got to get it done. If we would have done that, if we would have been bold enough, if we would have been ruthless enough to make a decision like that happen, then we wouldn't have these problems right now. We wouldn't have had this problem, okay? But that's what it is. That's what it is, man. So, Marino and Eddie look related. Listen, they're the cousin. Arteta, that's Mikel Moreno's real cousin, I tell you. Real cousin. They're worth chicken and chips. That's what I'm saying. The players that they keep to sell as well, that's like you can't expect to really, like, that's why it's so, man, the planning of the squad, yeah. The planning of the squad was so crucial. You couldn't 3 years ago decide to yourself that you're going to keep Eddie Nketiah, Reece Nelson, ESR, all of these players that you should have known were never going to be good enough for your team, never going to be good enough. You should have never have decided that you're going to keep them until these moments now to sell them, because they weren't good enough then. They were never going to be good enough, which means when it gets to the point of trying to sell them, you ain't going to get the value that you, come on, they're not going to be valued high enough. They're not going to be able to really balance the books, bro. They're not going to be able to do it. They're not going to be able to do it. Not with the way you, man, have spent money. Not with giving Kai Havertz 280k a week. Come on, you could have been sensible then. You did not need to give Kai Havertz 280k a week, bro. That is a muggage within itself. That is a decision within itself that has led us to be in this position that we're in this summer. You gave Kai Havertz 280k a week. Flipping hell, bro. You know, if we had so much availability, if we had 1.2 million a week that we could spend on wages still available, and you decided to give Kai Havertz 280k a week, then maybe we could come to terms with that. But no. Not when you've only got 400k a week available and you're giving Kai Havertz 280k of it. No. Do you understand the decisions now, ladies and gentlemen? Bro, they're really, really dumb, really stupid, not business minded, bro. Not business minded. Anyway, Wax laying out the facts on this Friday morning. Big up my guy Peppermint. Big up Naga. He says, Wax, I agree with you. If Saudi comes in with a 100 million plus mil on any of our big asset players, just buy it and sell them to ease the pressure and rebuild. Exactly. That's what they're going to have to do. Now, what they're going to do to us, they're going to rip our hearts out. You know, that's what they're going to do to us, guys. Guys, just be prepared for it. This is what I'm saying to you now. If you're emotionally attached to any Dons, listen, cut that attachment right now, because in the future, your heart is going to be ripped out. You're going to be sitting there, and one day you're going to wake up to hear that Saliba and Odegaard are both being sold for 200 million or 150 million, and your heart's going to be ripped out thinking, oh my God, like you have told. And then you're gonna hear about the replacements, and you're thinking, oh, these guys don't even. And it's just gonna be soul destroying, bro, soul destroying, and that's gonna be because of these decisions that should have been made earlier that didn't get made early enough. Simple as, man. Oh, big up my guy Nagado, man. You know, I try and help people understand what's really going on here, man. I'm not trying to gaslight people and tell them about 200 million pound war chests. No, guys, don't worry about what the media tell us or anyone tells you. Don't listen to Wax. Wax doesn't know what he's talking about. His football knowledge is in the mud. He doesn't understand football whatsoever. Trust me, guys. This is Arsenal. We just done Champions League quarterfinals. We come second back to back again. We've got 200 million. Trust me, we've got about 200 million to spend, guys. Trust me. That's what guys will be telling you, bro. That's what guys will be telling you. 200 million war chest, you know. It's crazy. It's crazy. Nah, mate. Big up early boy in the building. Wax with the facts. Big up my guy, man. Come on. We should have got Kudos. Shake my head. This is what I'm saying. Kudos. Kudos, 40 million pounds, bro. Kudos for 40 million. And we could have probably even negotiated it down to about 35 million. And then in terms of how much we would have gave him on wages, how much? 120k, 130k, not 280k, which meant the amount of money we actually outlaid just for Kai Havertz, that could have gave us 2 players that are better than Kai Havertz. Imagine that. Imagine that. We could have got 2 players that are better than Kai Havertz. These are the decisions that need to be made, man. When you're doing squad planning, you're trying to build your squad, you need to know that these decisions ain't going to be detrimental to the future planning of your squad. And that's what they never looked at. And that's how you know they're incompetent. That's how you know they're inexperienced. That's how you know they're just stupid guys that I just don't... You know, I'm not even going to put Arteta fully in that bracket. I'm not even going to put him fully in that bracket because I think Arteta's an intelligent guy. I think Arteta's a really smart guy. But I think who Arteta is working with at this moment in time is just not complimenting him at the moment. It's not giving him the compliments that he needs. He needs to get rid of Edu. He needs a proper sporting director to work with. And Richard Garlick, I mean, there could be question marks over you, but I know you're now the commercial, you're the CEO. You're dealing with the commercial side of things now. So I know you're not really going to be involved in what Edu is doing as much as you were involved. So, you know, you have to kind of look at Richard Garlick from a different lens now. You have to judge Richard based on the commercial sector. Shirt revenue, you know, commercial deals, commercial business. That's how you have to judge Richard. So it's slightly different now. Slightly different. You know, but as long as you can bring in a sporting director that's got all of the things, all of the qualities that you need to be you know, that guy, then Richard Garlick doesn't need to get involved. You can stay over there in the commercial world. Go over to Japan, go over to Australia, go over to Germany, sign some mega deals with some massive businesses. We don't mind. Let the sporting director do what he's doing. The reason why Richard Garlick has more or less been involved, so involved in Edu's planning and decision making and overall management of the project, is because Edu's incompetent, cuz. That's why they've even provided them with Tim Lewis. Tim Lewis. And I know you guys watch The Apprentice, right? Do you guys watch The Apprentice? Yeah? Everybody watches The Apprentice. That is one of the best shows on the planet, right? And I know a few people that have gone through The Apprentice, the process. When you watch The Apprentice, you've got the lady from West Ham, that executive from West Ham with one team, and you've got the board guy with the other team. And while the team, you know, put together this project, you know, you've got the board guy and the West Ham lady observing the project, making sure that they're doing a job, and then writing their notes down. And at the end of it, they'll go back to Lord Sugar. They'll convey whatever they need to and tell them whatever happened on that project. And then they have that meeting at the end of the show, right? Now, that woman and that man, that's basically Tim Lewis. That's Tim Lewis. That's what Tim Lewis is doing for Edu and Arteta. Do you understand? That's what he's doing. So Tim Lewis sits there daily making sure that Edu and Arteta are doing their job, and they feed that information back to KSE, or he feeds that information back to KSE. So these guys are being, you know, they're being looked after by this guy. He's a babysitter. Edu's the incompetent, inexperienced, naive, stupid Brazilian that doesn't know what he's doing. Mikel Arteta is starting to prove himself, starting to, you know, show his worth. But unfortunately, you know, he's being let down by his counterpart. He's being let down by his partner in crime, which is Edu. You know, them way there. The Apprentice is an old school lit show. Exactly. If you guys understand The Apprentice and The Apprentice and the way Lord Sugar has that project working, that's exactly the same way these men have got this project working. Tim Lewis is the babysitter for Edu and Mikel Arteta to make sure they're doing the project right. Then Tim Lewis corresponds all of the information and all of the reporting back to KSE to keep them up to date with where the project's basically at. That's how this project works. Okay? So more or less, you know, the decisions that are being made at Arsenal, those decisions are being made by Arteta and Edu. So, you know, the project's in the position that it's in because of those guys. Okay? Now you understand it. Edu is moving mad fraudulent right now. I'm telling you. Only 40% like, guys. Come on, we need the like button. I've given you so much value in this video. So much value. You always learn a lot from, being on the channel. You always learn a lot. Make sure you subscribe to this channel and make sure you subscribe to the Wax and Filter channel. We've got another video dropping on that channel later on this afternoon, early this evening, so you don't want to miss out on that. And of course, more Jay Slater content as well. I know everybody's loving Jay Slater right now. Big up Josh. He says it's going to be a long season. It is going to be a long season, man. We've got Wolves tomorrow, guys. Wolves. We're back. We're back. I can't believe it. I'm gassed. I'm actually gassed. We are back. Forget preseason. Forget all the friendlies and that. I don't care about that. Yeah, I don't care about that. We are officially back. Premier League kicks off today. Arsenal back again tomorrow. That is what I'm excited about. So let's see how we manage that. But we've got an interesting 5 games, man. An interesting 5 games. Wolves, Aston Villa. We've got Tottenham in there. We've got Man City in there. Let's see how Mikel Arteta manages it, man. Let's see how he manages it. Get a top manager and demote Arteta to head coach. You know what I mean? That could work, man. Arteta should have always come in as the assistant manager initially. That's how the process should have been. Arteta should have come in as the assistant manager. Make him the assistant manager to Unai Emery or make him the assistant manager to Arsene Wenger. That's what the process should have been. And then once he had been the assistant manager to Arsene Wenger or to Unai Emery, whoever that manager would have been at the time, then you slowly but surely kind of transition him into the manager. You understand? And I think if Mikel Arteta would have had a real manager to work with and as well as a real sporting director, I think he will bang. I actually think he will bang. Regardless if I, feel like he lied to us and he's done X, Y, and Z that made me feel some type of way. I think if you see what he's done and the way he's improved certain players and the system and the structure of certain things and the mentality of players and just like the culture and everything that's come with Arteta, we have to be real. We can't be fake about it, right? I think if he would have had other tools, other real tools with him, damn man, would have smashed it instantly. We would have won the Premier League 2 years ago. We would have won the Premier League 2 years ago. Would have done what Bayern Leverkusen done with flipping Xavi Alonso. We would have done that instantly. Xavi Alonso is a great manager working with some great people that have an identity of what they wanted to do. And instantly, within a space of 15, 14, 16 months, whatever it was, invincibles, bro. I know it's a totally different league, but Bayern Leverkusen should never be doing that. They should never be doing that. With all due respect to them, they should be never be doing that before Dortmund. They should never be doing that before Bayern Munich. Okay, so it just goes to show you that the people that drive the bus, the people that are calling the shots, the people that are ultimately, directing this project, they need to know what they're doing. They need to know what they're doing. Anyway, guys, I'm going to leave it there. Big up my guy, Noel Spicer. He does say, Wax, any other club spending 700 million would have demanded silverware. Exactly. I think Kroenkes are embarrassed now that questions are being asked. The heat is finally on them. Exactly. And this is the summer where Edu needs to deliver. This is the season where Arteta needs to deliver. And this is also the next 12 months is a very, very crucial, and it could be an eye-opening 12 months for all of us when it comes to the owners. How ruthless these owners are. How serious these owners are. You know them way there. So let's see. Anyways, no, big you up, man. I hope you and the family are doing well. Big up every single one of you guys in the building. Make sure you do subscribe. My alarm's going off. My phone's on charge. I need to turn that off. And I've got some work to do. So anyway, guys, hit the like button. All of that. I look forward to seeing you guys on the next one.